I was only a little boy, he said. I threw something at her. It hit her on the mouth. I was very sorry. I stayed there for a few days. When I went to your house, Suraphet traveled with me. I left Suraphet at the hotel and hurried across the town to see Hecate. When I got to Baki's house, Hecate was there. She did not know me, though, and she looked at me in surprise. Hecate, I said, have I grown very big? Don't you know me? David, she shouted. Oh, my little David. She put her arms round me and cried. Then she dried her eyes, and we went to see Bakis. He was ill in bed, but very pleased to see me. He gave Hecate some money to prepare a special dinner. Then Suraphet arrived. He laughed a lot, and we had fun together. After an hour, we left Bakis' house, and we went to Mr. Hecate's. We heard Mr. Hecate shouting and laughing. When we went inside, Ham was holding Emily's hand. His face was very red and Emily was looking at the floor.
Excuse me. All right, and remember class, Ham and Emily are not related. They live in the same house, but they're not related. All right, Nam, will you continue? Come in.
Come in, Mr. Hecate cried. I have a surprise for you. Ham and Emily are going to get married. That's good, Suraphet said. There was a strange look on his face. When did you hear that? A minute ago, Mr. Hecate said. Ham began to talk. I love Emily when she was a child, he said, and now I love her as a woman. I know that she is younger than I am, but she has agreed to marry me, and I'm a very happy man. We all drank wine happily together. The men talked a lot, but Emily was very quiet. She often looked at Suraphet. Time passed quickly, and soon it was late. It's time to go, Suraphet said. We shook hands with them all and said goodbye. Suraphet and I walked back to the hotel. I'm sorry that they are going to be married, Suraphet said. Emily is pretty and full of life. She should be a gentleman's wife. But Ham is rough and rather dull. He's just a fisherman. It's very sad. You are wrong, I cried. I did not agree with him at all. Ham's a good man. Here I'm a good husband to Emily. Suraphet put his hand on my arm and smiled frankly. David, he said, you are a good man too, but you don't understand me. After that, I stayed at Baki's house and Suraphet stayed at the hotel. He went out with the fisherman and I did not see him often. One night, I was alone in the house. I was sitting by the fire when he came in. His face was sad. What's wrong? I asked. I'm thinking, he said. What? My father's dead, he said, and I need him now. I need a father to guide me. My mother is no use. Everything I do is far with her. I'm not a good man, and that makes me unhappy.
Please excuse me, but please notice that he at least two things I want you to notice about Suraphet. He doesn't think Ham is good enough for Emily because Ham's a fisherman. David says yes, but Ham is a good man. But Suraphet says, but she should be married to a gentleman.
Yes.
So he is, in English we say, he's also a snob. Somebody who looks down on people who do not have money or position.
Yeah.
But he at least sees this about himself. He said, I need the guidance of a father because my mother thinks everything I do is fine.
Yeah.
So he knows that's wrong. If you have a parent who thinks that everything you do is great, you'll never learn anything. He doesn't know what's right or what's wrong. Because anything he does, his mother says, good. All right, continue.
I don't understand, he said. What are you talking about? Oh, this isn't important, he said. See, I'm happier now. Let's go for a walk. He stood up and smiled. I bought a boat. He told me proudly. While we were walking in Yarmouth, I asked. It was a surprise. But you don't don't often come to Yarmouth. Ham's carrying the boat for me. He said, Dad, I say, you are good. You give it what you have. I haven't given him the boat, still for today. He's looking after it for me. I called the boat the little Emily. He took more cheerful when I saw him after that. The time in Yarmouth was a very happy one for me, but it passed quickly. Our last night came, and I'm walking back to Bobby's house. Ham stopped me outside. Please don't go in, he said. Emily is talking to a woman inside. The woman had asked for help. A few minutes later, Peggy opened the door. You can come in now, she said. The woman was sitting next to Emily. Her name was Martha Endels, and she was crying.
Okay, good. Ms. Agatha?
I have done something terrible, she says. My mother and father don't want me. The people in Yarmouth ask me. I am going to leave and go to London. London will be better than Yarmouth. What will you do in London? Emily asks. She has her arms around the woman. I find work. Master told her, but I need money. I have nothing. Here money, Emily said. You can go to London. Thank you, Martha said. You are very kind. I always remember you. She left the house. Emily closed the door behind her. Her face was sad and she began to cry too. I'm like Martha, she said. I'm bad too. You have said. You're not bad. You're beautiful and good. No, I'm not, Emily said. I'm so unhappy. Please help me, Em. I want to be good. Ham put his arm around her and soon she was quiet. She was talking like Stanford. I did not understand Emily and Stanford them, but I understood later.
Or, excuse me, what does David Copperfield mean when he says that Emily is talking like Steerforth, Mr. Eckerbat? What does he mean? What did Emily say that was like what Steerforth said?
I'm so unhappy.
Yes, but why is she unhappy? What does she say is wrong with her?
Not understanding.
What did she say, Bra? Sorry, say it. Say it. She says,
did not understand Emily.
Okay, but Emily says, I'm like Martha. What does she say? I'm like Martha. Somebody find what she says about when she says, I'm like Martha. I'm bad too. See, Emily says, I'm a bad person. Steerforth said, I'm a bad person. That's why David says, Ham, she says, no, I'm so unhappy. You, Ham said, you're not bad. You're beautiful and good. No, I'm not, Emily said. Ham put his arms around her and so on. She was talking like Steerforth. I did not understand Emily and Steerforth then, but I understood later. So David said when he got older, he understood why Emily and Steerforth both said they were bad persons. And we'll find out too. Is everyone clear? They both say we're bad persons, and David doesn't understand that. Okay, continue.
Chapter 8. I missed the girl of my dream. When we returned to London, my aunt was waiting for me. I told her that I want to be a lawyer, so she paid £1,000 to Sparrow and Chuckin. Mr. Sparrow was going to teach me law. My aunt also found me room in the home of Mrs. Couple, who cleans the room and cooks for me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. All right, so now he's going to be a lawyer and he's going to live in another place so that he can study law. And his aunt paid a law firm to teach him law. Anything in the story you don't understand, please stop. Prananem?
London is a lonely place and I feel very alone. Stupid did not visit me and I had an English friend. But one day I meet him in the street with two of his friends. I gave them my address and asked them to come to dinner. It was a good dinner, but I drank too much. I became very silly. The theater, a fine place. I cried, let's go there. We went to the theater outside of the main entrance. Stewart's friend held my arm. I could not stand by myself.
Why can't he stand by himself, Prod?
ตัวพี่ชอบกินตับหวานส่วนตัวน้องนั้นชอบทานตำไทยตำมั่วตำซั่วตำแตงตำหัวออกแรงนั่งตำทำไมตับหวานน้องสนใจไหมตับหวานน้องสนใจไหมตับหมูตับไก่อยากให้น้องกินตับตับตับตับตับตับตับตับตับพี่ชอบกินตับเด็กพี่ชอบให้เด็กกินตับกินตับมาตั้งแต่เด็กให้แร่ธาตุเหล็กน้องคงเข้าใจของหวานของมันของเขาไม่เอาพี่สะบัดก้นใส่ถ้าไปตับแล้วพี่ยอมตายถ้าไปตับแล้วพี่ยอมตายก่อนน้องครั้งใดต้องได้กินตับตับตับตับตับตับตับตับตับโอ้ไปเที่ยวกันไหมจะไปก็รีบไปกับพี่แล้วสบาย